Hello everyone! Today I want to show you how to play smart with a roach character by giving you some tips and showing some very useful tricks. My roach build is fire. As you can see, every characteristics are scrolled to 101. And the thing you need to know is that 11 action points is enough to roach, you don't need 12 in fire build. And you need to have 6 movement points. And how about resistances? You don't need to have much resistances because bombs don't have resistances. So yeah, there are some spells you need to have at level 4, 5 or 6. The best you have two of bombs at level 6. Some damage spells if you are fire. That's pulsar and lick by is enough. Yeah, and there's my equipment. I think that's the best option for level 199 because there are no better set in my opinion. One ring is Exo AP Magic. It's Kringlov, but I don't have ore, so I need to use that. Yeah, and Automai set gives me 1 action points that I need to complete my set. And here are some trophies I use. Yeah, Voyager is I need very much Voyager because there's a 6 movement points, but I don't really need that dodge and lock. Here is my damage. Let me show that in 2x. Some pulsar damage. Pulsar damage depends on your movement points. Yeah, powder, magnet, and yeah, that's it. That's pretty good, I think. Okay, the first spell I want to show you is magnet. As you see, the situation sucks because you can't use kickback and you can use magnet only once at yourself, but there's an option you can put a monster to use magnet on it, or just put another bomb and do it like that. The second situation looks like that. You can use dirty trick, but you don't need to do that because you can use just magnet and push him onto the bomb line like that. Okay, the next spell is Kickback. It's very useful spell, which has a lot of which you use in a lot of situations. And in situation like that, you can use pulsar and then without using much more movement points to get closer to him, just use kickback and go far away from Sakir. And how it looks in practice. Okay, leak pie. Let's deal some damage. The best option is at the first turn put one of the bomb far away from you and from the enemy, because he won't hit it, he will boost himself or just hit you. And then, okay, it looks like that. And then you have some few options. But in that situation you can use dirty trick, but I prefer to use magnet. At first you put one bomb over here, then your fire bomb, magnet, and here you are. And then, as you know, Sakura can swap with you or in another way change position. So better you use Kaboom, because you can't you won't deal any damage from your bombs line. Okay, how it looks in fight. I don't really know that guy. I just challenged him at village. Okay, so I magnet him 1 square, then kickback 3 squares, my bomb, and then put him onto the line. Yeah. Okay, so the next spell is Dirty Trick. It's one of the best rogueless spells because you can swap your positions with any of the bomb on the map in that way. Or there's another situation. It looks like that. When you are totally blocked by Sucker, especially when you are in fire build, and you can just at first put a bomb and then dirty trick, but there is a better option. You dirty trick with the bomb, put exfil bomb, and then kick back that to your opponent, then detonate, and yeah, here we are. Okay, and now a bit more advanced strategy. When you can't use Boombot because you used it before, you can use that trick in that way. You put a bomb magnet and up your opponent and bomb. Then you just go right here, dirty trick, and yeah, he's trapped. Then you can detonate it or use last breath, whenever you want. Okay, and bombs moving. I will show you the way how you can move your bombs without using dirty trick. When one of the bombs is far away from your enemies, you just use magnet, for example, then put another bomb, magnet to the another bomb, and then use kickback. Just use your imagination, because there are loads of ways to. Yeah, and Boombot. I think it's the most useful spell ever created by Ankama. Yeah, just kidding, but yeah, there are a lot of ways you can put your enemy onto the bomb line. If you created one, you can push 2 of your opponents in one turn. And there is another option. When he's staying like that, you use Boombot, go far away, push him, attract him 4 squares, then push him 4 squares. Yeah, and he's trapped too. Okay, and now, when your enemy is far away from you, you can attract him to the bombs line too. And remember about your movement points, because at level 6 Boombot has 9 movement points, and he can attract and push only 6 squares. And remember about using Kaboom state, especially when you are playing with Sucker, because he can easily swap with you and push you onto your own bomb line. Better you stay like that. Yeah, and there's a situation when Boombot is over the line. You just use Kabooms onto the Boombot and yourself, then push your enemy. Okay, and Remission. That's a spell you can use on the bomb to reduce some damage from distance, but you can use it in another way, and most of the players doesn't know that trick. Use Remission on yourself, and then the person hitting you from 1 square, when he's staying like that Sucker, he's pushed 4 squares away. So let's see how it works. And usual people don't know about that. Yeah, he is Sucker foot, and he's then pushed 4 squares away onto the bomb line. Okay, so now fight strategy. In my opinion, that's the best way to begin most of the fights, especially when you play with Sucker. You the bomb you deal the match with, you put it far away from you and from your enemy. Then you use Kaboom onto yourself and detonate the bombs to boost yourself. That's why the best you have water bomb at 6th level, and then you can create a trap for the enemy. As you see, I created some square, some space. I can trap him onto the bomb, and most of the enemies doesn't see that, especially when they don't play with Roach and they don't have any experience. Okay, so now the sword blocked me and I can't use Kickback because I will push bomb away too. And I better don't use powder because he can destroy the bomb and it will detonate, so I just use release. And as you see, he's trapped. I put the bomb there and that's over. Then you can just use your imagination and do your best.
Powiedz, jak to jest, że masz talent oraz wiarę. Tony wersów też nie wart, wyczekując zmianę. Ale idę tam, bo mam plan na wymianę słów. Płynę gram w bank, dopóki żyje we mnie Bóg. Morda nie jest szklanką, tak powiadają, idąc przez ulicę z bandą, brat. Nie udają, choć sami przelewani nadają na fali. Wiesz, póki nasza lista lija nie zostanie jeden z trzech. Co mam, to wiem, nie pytaj mnie o resztę. Gdy nikt nie cięsny, wszelakie spełnię, by na jawie stałeś się realne. Jak nigdy to choć latanie po niebie, dane nam tylko nocą, a oni los mają na dłoni. Zadzwoni głos, to noc, bo roni do nich wprost powie: panowie, mamy czas, przed nami cały świat, bo każdy z nas jeden brat wśród palety barwa. Ja pytam, która będzie makobita? Wiesz, ciebie zilam i nie mam już nic z tego. Ile daje, tyle wraca, wiem w sumie. A więc czekać muszę, bo mam dość wiary w przeznaczenie. Wiem, że tylko ja cały świat własny odmienia. Ty nie stój, bratku, i się nie dziw, i rusz się, możesz własny los odmienić.
Chcemy mieć, niosąc własną treść, szczerą prawdę i poznać się. Gwiazdy staną się osiągalne wręcz, gdy będziemy trwać ponad wiek.
Hej, trwalu, jak ci się wiedzie, bo wciąż zmarł. Nie ruszasz się, więc martwię się o ciebie. Wiesz, bracie, sam miałem trudne chwile. Myślałem, że nic nie da się zmienić, jednak wyruszyłem tam. Moja droga, się to od noga, trasa do Boga, trwoga wielka, męka. Jednak brat, ja nie...